Hey guys, it's Andy Elliott here. What we're going to talk about today is Craigslist. Ultimately, Craigslist is the #1 tool for a salesman to make it in today's times. I see a lot of guys that are in the market today that are actually out there taking ups, and they're relying on taking care of their family by the floor traffic of a dealership. What I see is that it's not ultimately working. A lot of guys used to make a lot of money in this business, and we've lost some good hands due to no innovation in new prospecting. So what I want to bring to the table is something that I'm using with the people today who are absolutely killing it, okay? Now, you're going to be different. The people that are making the most money are differentiating themselves from other salesmen in their competition. I'm going to give you the answers to the test, and all you got to do is duplicate it, okay? So as we start here, let's talk about numbers. Let's talk about where all of our customers are today. Well, you got 60 million plus people a month on Craigslist. You got about 20 to 30 million a month on AutoTrader. And then you got about 3 million a month on Cars.com. So basically, as a salesman, you're not going to have access to AutoTrader, or you're not going to have access to Cars.com. You can't put your own personal cell phone numbers on there. Now, Craigslist, you can. Now, Craigslist has triple and double the amount as these other providers. And basically, you can go on there, and every day you can go through your inventory and you can find the hot pieces, and you can put your cell phone number on there. And if you do it right, you will kill it in today's times. You don't see many people selling 30, 40 cars a month anymore. It seems like you see a lot of people selling 10 cars, or if they're selling 20 cars, it's because they're really a 10-car hand working 2 jobs, okay? So because they're there from 8 in the morning till midnight every night, they're there constantly working 2 jobs to get those 20 car deals out. That's the life of floor traffic, okay? Now, I'm not saying some months aren't wonderful, but I'm talking about consistently. And consistently taking care of your family is kind of where I come in, because I'm hoping to invest in people and see them grow. And growth is my #1 deal with you. Okay, so as we talk about going to the next level, we're going to focus on these 60 million people a month on Craigslist, and we're going to see how we can look into your inventory, find those hot pieces, have them online the right way, and just make this a record year, okay? So I'm going to go to the internet now, and I'm going to show you some things that you're seeing in a lot of places that isn't working. Okay, this is Craigslist. And if you see the Craigslist page, I'm sure you know how to post. You just go up here to My Account, you build an account, or you already have one. You go to post a vehicle. It's simple. So I'm not here to teach you how to post on Craigslist. I'm sure you already know. If we go here to dealers and we look, you'll see this is about what your customers see whenever they're going to search for a vehicle that they're going to buy. They're going to see this page. See, back in the day, Craigslist used to actually kind of be a little bit different. They used to have this deal called Thumb, and this was what everybody used to scroll. They didn't even have these little mini pictures here. They just, would have to look down like this, and then when they found one, they had to click on it, and then they got to see the pictures and see if it looked like something they wanted to see in their driveway, okay? 99% of the people now view for a car on Craigslist just like this. So what's the first thing that the customer sees? The picture, okay? You can be the best at putting information, a great description, but if your pictures aren't great, I'm going to tell you this. If I, regardless of how low in miles it is, how wonderful the price is, if I go to look at something, and I'm just going to say I click on it, like if I see like there's an '02 Pontiac Grand Prix here, and it says it has 69,000 miles, and that looks great. And I go to look on here, and then guess what? I've got 1, 2, onto something else here. Guess what? 2 pictures of this car, no descriptions. You look at this deal, it says, what it is. We have 60 cars under $3,000. Look, I'm going to tell you this right now. That guy's not going to pick up the phone and specifically buy this vehicle, and that's my goal. I want you to obviously work the volume end of it, but what should happen is Craigslist people should be able to get on here. They're ultimately in their buying funnel of kind of ideally looking for something. If you have that something with great pictures, they're going to pass go and buy it, and they'll call you. But the pictures are the #1 concern. And as I look at everybody here, look, the flashy dealership pictures, they don't work. If you're talking about selling 40 cars a month on your own, you need to find a desirable area and go and take it, make it not look like a dealership, even if it is a dealership. You're seeing all these places now, and they all look the same, every single one of them. People don't like being around dealerships. So if you go over here to for sale by owner and you look, you see a lot of people with things in their driveway. And the goal is, just like this guy right here that's got this ad, you want to find a place that has the best pictures that you can get. You want to find a place that has a great background. You visually want to make this person envision this car sitting in their driveway already. Don't ever put a bad picture on there, okay? So I'm just talking about in the initial stages of as people go to Craigslist, this is how they scroll, this is how they view. That first picture is everything. We'll get to that in a minute, but as I'm going through this, I mean, even if there's neat stuff, the pictures are just awful, you know? Everybody right now is primarily looking at the pictures first. So, because this is how they scroll. Let's go into how to post a car. Okay, so the right way to post a vehicle is to ultimately get the biggest and the best out of your ad. So when you go to post on Craigslist, you see the first thing it says is emails or no replies to the emails. I always go no replies to email, okay? That's probably the best. I'll go to by phone and text. Obviously, you have a ton of text out there, so I always click both of those. And don't ever put the store number on there. Make sure you put your phone number. So when you put your phone number on there, don't put a store line. Contact. Ultimately, we're posting on Craigslist because we want them to come in and ask for you. We don't want them to come in and ask for the dealership. If you put a car online and you put the dealership address on there and you put the dealership name, they're not coming to you. They'll go into the store and buy. You want to put your name on here, okay? Now, as I go into and I put Andy here, I'm going to also put my last name because I want to make sure that if there's another Andy in the store, they come see me. This positioning title, this is probably one of the biggest deals. You know, people don't describe vehicles very well, so when people are searching for them, you know, I'll see people that go to post a truck, let's say a 2006 Chevy truck. Let's say you trade for one last night. A guy will put 2006, or he might even put '06, okay? And then he'll go, you know, Chevrolet, you know, extended cab, 4x4. Very nice. You see this stuff happening all the time. This isn't going to work. What we're wanting to do is be deadly in all the areas. The number one thing that I talked about was they're going through the thumbs, which means they're going to see your first picture. Your first picture has to be your best picture. Make sure it's lined up in the ad to be your first picture, okay? It'll say this picture will be displayed first. In the positioning title, use the entire line, okay? And I always like to do cap locks to make it stand out. So if I traded for that 2006 Chevrolet, let's say extended cab, right? I'm going to put 4-door because it is a 4-door, and that means a lot to a lot of people. Z71 4x4, right? I can add, if there's, let's just say an old guy trades in a truck and it's 10 years old, it's 2016. That is a prime vehicle for the market now. You know, you can own a car for $30,000 and sell it for $35,000 and make $5,000 in profit. You can sell a car you have $5,000 in for $10,000 and make $5,000 in profit. This is made for the expensive cars and the cheap cars. Everything works on Craigslist, but the heading's got to be great. So I'm just going to put here one owner, okay, and then I'm going to put and I'm going to see as I space bar my deal out here. I'm going to see how many spaces I have left, and put drives like new. See that? That right there is a good heading. It's all capitalized. Let's say my price is $99.88. You got a postal code here, you can put that in. I like to do this. In this specific location, if you live in, let's just say, you know, Texas Amarillo, and you go to put your town in there, I don't like that because a lot of people, you know, the internet was created so people can drive and find something that they can't find in their own neighborhood. Now they want to try to find something in their own neighborhood, But more than likely, most of the time, it's a little bit of a drive. If you put your location here and someone from, let's say, Dallas, Texas, goes to look in Oklahoma City for a vehicle and you put where you're located, you know, they may start putting in their head how far the distance is and see if it's worth the drive to you. That you may lose that customer before the contact even takes place. So I don't even like to use a specific location for a contact as far as like where I'm at. I like to put low payments in here, okay? So I like to do this, and it'll show up on your ad. 06 Chevy Z71 extended cab, $99.88. I like to put $149 a month with 0 cash down, okay? Why I do that is because it shows up their payments. You'd agree 90% of the people today are going to finance a vehicle, 10% are going to pay cash. So would you say that most of the people that are on here feel like they have the ability to buy a car? Yes, that's why they're looking. And when they find a vehicle, they're probably curious to see what the payments might run on something like that. You're going to answer every question for them or give them the best scenario, which is going to make them call you immediately. So notice I put the $149 a month with 0 cash down right here. I spelled that out, all cap locks. Okay, and I'll tell you how I got to that payment in a minute, which I haven't done the math. I just kind of put together some numbers here. I'm going to paste a description in here that I've already pre-wrote so we can watch this together. Okay, so this says, and it's like a cruise line ad. You know, what they do is that they show these commercials, right, of these beautiful cruises and people have fun. And then they got a guy on the other end who's literally painting a picture of you and your family having fun. That's what this is. You're going to paint a picture that this is the vehicle that they need and that this is you got to make sure you write this down, this is a hot deal, a unique piece, it's a rare find. What separates your car from another one down the street? This description and your pictures. Ultimately, price. Look, if you price something higher than another guy, but it's ultimately 10 times better in pictures. If you got 2 cars lined up here and they're both 06 Chevy trucks, and one's got pictures on a scale of 1 to 10, they're a 4, and you've got pictures 1 to 10, a 10. If your price is $3 grand higher, that guy's still going to call you because he can envision buying that truck you have. Understand that price isn't everything. But now showing the affordability of it with the payments and great financing, that's where that you're going to be able to get around to adding a little more spread into your profit, but with good financing if you have financing at your dealerships. Okay, so let's go over this ad. I pre-wrote this so we can read it. This is a good ad, and it's simple. There's nothing fancy about it. Don't stress yourself out trying to write it. It says this is a 2006 Chevy Silverado extended cab 4-door. Again, going over that all 4 doors open. It's a Z71 4x4 that was just traded in last night by an older retired military man. Now the deal is that, look, people like stories. They really do. You know, if you were going to a dealership and there were 2 cars sitting next to each other and they were both the same, and some guy said, hey, this one right here was just traded in by a high school kid last night, and this one was just traded in by a retired military man last night, which vehicle would you want to look at? You see, if you know the history of these trade-ins when they come in, disclose it. Go over it. People love that, and we don't do enough of that nowadays. Now we just lay the facts out, but we've stopped selling. There's a difference between telling and selling. This is selling. This is a 2006 Chevy Silverado extended cab, 4-door Z71 4x4 that was just traded in last night by an older retired military man. Notice I put last night. What does that mean? It just came in, and I'm creating sense of urgency. Since it just got here, it won't last very long. People want to get it before it sells. I put this truck drives absolutely incredible. Go drive him yourself when you're taking pictures. If it drives great, lay it out there. Let him know you drove it yourself. Let him know you took it 80 miles an hour on the highway, took your hands off the steering wheel, and it doesn't pull. Those are things that people want to read. They want to put themselves in the seat. The older man only traded in because he buys a brand new truck every 10 years. Okay, I put the reason. He has kept it in the garage and has never smoked in it a day in its life. People hate smoked in vehicles, okay? You'll see there's a lot of people with allergies and asthma and stuff like that. Look, if it ain't been smoked in, lay it out there. The car's been kept in the garage and it's in great condition, lay it out there. These are things that people want. They want a new vehicle, right? And even though if it's pre-owned, it's new to them. You will not find another truck this nice, I assure you. It's loaded with power windows and locks, keyless entry and alarm, CD with upgraded stereo. Hey, everything you can call upgraded. It makes it sound nicer. Upgraded stereo, premium chrome wheels with like new tires, okay? I'm envisioning them seeing this new car for them. Running boards. It's got a Class C tow package. So for people buying trucks, they can imagine that, you know, they can do all their towing needs and much more. The Z71 off-road package will also give you the heavy-duty suspension, heavy-duty skid plates, and 4x4 for all-weather driving. Notice, I summed it up quick. It wasn't too long. You know, when people post on Craigslist, it's like they copy and paste something off their internet homepage that has a bunch of BS facts that people don't want to hear. If they want to research this truck, they can Google it. You need to give them it within 30 seconds, getting the point across how nice this is. Within 30 seconds, we got it. Notice when I'm done, after the 4x4 for all-weather driving, it says, again, get payments as low as $239 a month, which, you know, we've used the number 149. I would put the same payment there as here, 149 a month with zero cash down. Now, I put with zero cash down. Everything's with approved credit, and I'm going to show you where to put that in there. Okay? Get payments as low as $149 a month with zero cash down. Call Andy Elliott at, put your cell phone number to set up a time to see. Have a very blessed day. Okay, so just stopping for a moment as we've kind of talked about this. You got to understand 90% finance penetration in most stores, some 80% means that most of your customers today are going to their own credit union or they're looking for financing right at your dealership. Okay, anything about 2010 or newer, most dealerships have a lender that will give you 84 months, 78 months. Really good financing, okay? Something between an 05 to a 2010, you've always got 72 months. Most lenders out there will give you that. And then 05 and older, they'll give you 60 months. As time goes by, get with your finance department and ask them, what's the longest term I could finance this car? Your goal is to put the best case scenario. You ever seen a commercial? They say, come in, get payments as low as $99 a month. And guess what? At the end, that guy goes blah, 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 and does that little deal real fast. Well, I'm going to show you where that payment disclosure is at the end. Most people on Craigslist can buy a car and actually have good credit. They're just looking for a good car. It's where everybody shops now. So you're going to get a lot of people that can buy to these terms. But remember, it's with approved credit. Your goal is to physically fish each day, right, as you post these ads for people. Somebody may see this ad and they may see that $149 payment and they may call you and say, hey, I'm coming down to look at that truck right now. They come in and they drive it, they love it, they come inside and guess what? Their credit's less than perfect, they can't qualify for it, but you know what? There's another vehicle that will work. Well, this ad got you that prospect. Then again, there's a lot of people that'll come in and they will physically buy this car because you've done an incredible job and they may finance it 24 months. They may finance it the long term that you've put on the app. As long as their credit qualifies, they can do whatever that you put on this ad here, okay? So as we go back to the screen, I want to go down to the call Andy Elliott at this number to set up a time to see. Have a very blessed day. You can put whatever you want in that line there, but you got to make sure you put your full name and put your cell phone number. Now, watch this. I'm going to go down about 10 or 15 spaces, okay? That's the ad. What we want to do here is that for the Motor Vehicle Commission, you got to do two things to stay compliant to write any ad. Number one, you got to put the name of your dealership. So if you're Texas Chevy, I'm just going to write Texas Chevy, okay? And then I'm going to put payments figured at 60 months times 2.99, right? And then I'll just do this. That was my bad. 2.99, and that was WAC. Okay? This covers you. How you got to this 149 payment is by payments figured at 60 months at 2.99%. Download Simple Payment Calculator on your phone. It's an app. You can just type in the amount, put in the term, put in the lowest interest rate, and guess what? That'll give you that. And then, here's your ad. Up here, most people are going to read this and they're never even going to pay attention to this payment disclosure down here at the bottom. You know, and you can take this down as far as you want, it doesn't matter. Now, on these little boxes, I see a lot of people put too much information here. You only got to fill out the green. So, 06, my bad, 06 Chevrolet extended cab 4x4. On the miles, listen, if you think the miles are low and they're going to help you sell the car, put the miles in the odometer box. But if the miles aren't low, guess what? Keep them off. Get the phone call. Because if I'm going to explain to somebody that the miles are high or low, it's all perception. Okay, I want to stop at the odometer point here for a minute. These miles, what's real important is, so you understand this, perception's key, okay? If somebody bought a car in 2012 and it's 2016, that car is 4 years old. Some people may think that 12,000 miles a year is what should be driven per car. We know that every car is driven about 20,000 at least per year. And some people drive 50,000 miles per year. Now, bottom line is that, look, you've got a price on your ad, more than likely on a high mile unit, okay? Don't put the miles on the ad. You have the ability to justify and influence and persuade them to accept those miles once on the phone. That's our job as salespeople, okay? Remember, stop the telling, make sure we're selling, okay? But if you put those ads at 150,000 miles on that, and it's a 2010 model, that guy may never call you. But watch this, if you don't put the miles on there, and it's a 2010 ad, and it has 150,000 miles on it, and guess what? That guy calls you and says, how many miles are on that ad? It's because of one reason. If the truck had 40,000 miles on it, right? More than likely those prices would be way higher. But he has seen a price that you put on there with great pictures, a great description, and guess what? A better price point than he's seeing on other vehicles in the market. Everybody wants that good deal. Well, guess what? When he calls you on that ad, you got the chance to do what? Justify him buying a high mile unit or being able to switch him to something that you have on your inventory with less miles. It ain't bait and switch. Listen, those 150,000 mile vehicles, they sell all the time. You got to realize with technology, these vehicles are made better. Most of them will run a half a million miles if they're taken well care of. Some of them are junk, some of them are good. I'm asking you, don't post the junk, post the good pieces. Well, guess what? If that guy calls and he says, how many miles are in that car? You can stop for a second and say, hey, listen, I'm going to tell you the same thing that I thought. Guess what? If I covered the odometer, you would literally think this car had 50,000 miles on it. It's that nice. I can't believe it. I took it on the highway. I drove it. I did this. I had my service guy check it out. But guess what? Whenever I looked at the odometer, it does have 150,000 miles on it. But you can buy it $9,000 less than the other ones on the market. And you know what? To me, that's a great buy because it's already a depreciated vehicle. Guess what? You had an opportunity to sell your point. That's what selling is about. And 50% of the time, they'll pass go. And they'll say, you know what? I think I still want to see it. I'm on my way in. So I'm just saying to you, don't put the miles on there. Don't put all the information on there that's going to stop the phone from ringing, right? You want to bring as many leads to your phone as you can a day. So as I go back to the odometer, just if this was an 06 with 150, I probably wouldn't put it in there, okay? Unless it really benefits the truck and it was 76,000, then I would put, 76,000, okay? But it doesn't, so I'm going to leave it blank. Now remember, this is green, you got to fill it out, this is green. You don't have to put the VIN number in there. I don't, okay? The condition, if it's great, put excellent, but you don't have to fill out that box. You don't have to fill out this box or this box, just this one. I'll put gas or diesel. Now, if it is a four-wheel drive, I do like to put four-wheel drive because people will search by four-wheel drive in Craigslist search engine optimization, and guess what? If you click this four-wheel drive button, if it is, you'll pull up in those deals. Paint color, size, I don't fill out any of that. Status is simple. If it's got a rebuild or salvage title, put it here, but most of the time, if they're clean titles or coming out your dealership, click clean. Transmission is a manual or automatic. It's pretty simple, okay? Now, this include more ads by this user just means if you're going to post a lot on Craigslist, If you are the only one using your Craigslist account, okay, and you're the only one posting vehicles on your ad, then you probably want to click this box. That means that they can click on the more ads by this user and they can see the rest of your ads that you've ever posted. So you can be on the phone with the customer and say, hey, listen, Mr. Customer, you know what? I actually just got something in 3 days ago that I think you'd be really interested in. Click more ads by this user, and guess what? They can tap that and scroll down and look at that ad I posted 3 days ago. They can immediately see yours. But if you and the dealership are all sharing an ad together, and everybody's taking turns posting out of one account, I wouldn't click this because they may get on here and call your buddy's account. Show on maps, I don't click that in. I don't really need to put where I'm at. Remember we talked about in the location box? Let's let them call us and let's do our job on the phone. So I don't click show on maps, okay? And this is only for if you're using your account on your own all the time. But if they're sharing it, don't click that. I go down here to continue. It's simple. It'll take you here to add images. Obviously, when you're adding the image here, right, you always want to make sure it says the maximum is 24. You can click on them and drag them. You know, if I've got 20 pictures here that I'm going to post to this vehicle, I always want to drag my best picture here, the first picture that's going to sit right here. Okay? So that's got to be your first picture. That's the first one they're seeing. Now that we've published it, look at the ad. 06 Chevrolet Cinecab 4-door Z71 4x4 one owner, drives like new. You got to use every single space so it goes all the way across, okay? That's why I use these couple explanation points at the end. I couldn't get any more words in, but I wanted to fill it all the way up. Watch, $99.88, and then look next to that price, what do you see? $149 a month with 0 cash down. Now, you see my ad that I wrote? You know, right here? Do you see that payment disclosure? Do you see the name of the dealership? Nope. It's way down here. So they don't need to know where you're at. You don't need to put the name of your dealership up here because more than likely they'll call your dealership. Heaven forbid you're with the customer and you can't answer your phone. Well, guess what? If it says Texas Chevy right here, they're going to call Texas Chevy immediately and say, hey, do you still have that 06 Z71? Sales gone to another guy. Okay? Payment disclosure, how they get to it here, you're compliant. I put exactly how I got there. 60 months, $299. WAC. It's simple. Okay? So there you go. So anyways, this is the main cycle of how to do well at this. And as I go back to this just for a second, take this perfect ad, okay, and go back here. If you can put a great photo of this vehicle every time, listen, everybody's got a rich neighborhood or something. Everybody's got a beautiful park with a pond in the background. Everybody's got a place that they can go to that they can put their vehicle at that will make it look incredible, okay? And what you want to do is that by different times of the day, you see this car right here, you see that glare? It looks awful. Different times of the day, you're going to have different sunspots. So do you know what? If it's early in the morning, you can probably shoot it anywhere. When it gets middle of the day, you may need to take it somewhere where you got a good shadow, maybe against a wall, where you can shoot it up against that wall and stay in that shadow line so it looks really good. Shoot them, please, off the dealership. I want to go just back to this one little deal of where we take our pictures. Find a beautiful place. Find a place that's absolutely just always awesome. Not a lot of other vehicles. I don't want a bunch of other metal around it. I want it to look just like it's a rare, rare, rare piece, okay? So put it in front of a beautiful home, okay? Put it out in the country somewhere. Put it, like I said, in a park is great. But listen, those times of the day when the park fills up, you're not going to that place. So most of the people who are really successful at doing this, they get into work around 7:30. They're taking the fresh trades that just come in the night before. They're snagging those pieces and they're getting them online fast. They're taking them and they're photoing 3, 4, 5 of them. And they're getting those new fresh pieces, and then they'll go back in and post them. In the middle of the day, let's say you trade for one and it's a truck that you're like, oh my gosh, this thing's gonna sell so fast. Guess what? You're gonna have to know where to take them in the middle of the day and towards the end of the day. just remember glaring and all that. This picture right here looks awful, okay? So this looks like a showroom floor. It says dealership all over it. I don't like to be in the dealership side. I don't like to be sitting on a showroom floor. Find a place where it looks great. And as we just scroll through this, you know, you see stock photos here, which look awful. You see busy showroom floor dealership pictures, which reminds them of people that they have dealt with in the past that they don't like. And then, you know, you go down and you see somebody that actually takes the time to go pull it out somewhere and take nice pictures. And I'm not saying this is a great picture, but it's not surrounded by anything else. It has nothing but car to car. It's a good, nice, solid picture of it. Your pictures, whenever they're just traded for, you're not going to want to take 20 pictures of them. Obviously, this car's dirty. It doesn't have tire shine on it or anything. So you're not going to want to take more than probably 4 or 5 pictures of that car. You're wanting to just put a good, quick, you know, hey guys, this car just came in, and then going back to your description line right here, when I go to edit post, I would probably start out by this is a 2006, you know, or Kia Optima, whatever it is, and I would put that just got traded in and that has not been detailed yet, but is on its way to the detail department right now. So I wanted to send pictures of it just like this because I know it won't last, right? But it's on its way to the detail department. So when the people are seeing it, they're saying, man, this is a nice car. And then they're reading saying, hey, man, it hadn't even been detailed yet. You know what? It allows you to show them that you're not giving your best vehicle. Okay. The idea of the posting part, people do it and then they stop because they don't see results. It's simple. You want to make it a unique piece, a rare find, a hot deal. How do you do that? You do that by putting in great descriptions. Don't list all the facts. Sell it. You know, when you're writing the ad and you're typing it, literally act like you're talking to somebody on the telephone. You know, this is a 2006, something just got here. Go through the ad. You know, make it sound like it flows well. Don't keep it all chopped up. Don't write something this long, they're not going to read it. 30 seconds to get your point across how great it is, okay? Read it, time yourself. 30 seconds, that's it. Make sure your pictures are incredible. If you can't get great pictures, don't even waste your time photoing it. Seriously. You're adding yourself to the list of the other dealers who aren't making it doing this, okay? Be different. Slow down. Spray the cars down. Go put tire shine on them. If they've been on your lot, guess what? Don't use the dealership descriptions on the websites. Go write them yourself. Take them somewhere neat. Make it seem like it has nothing to do with the dealership, okay? People want to buy for sale by owner, but they don't have all the financing and all that stuff. And they like to know also that a dealership provides extended warranties and stuff like that. People like buying from dealers, they just don't like dealing with dealers. So make yourself stand apart and seem different, okay? So with all this information that I've given you, if you'll follow it step by step all the way through, and like I said, from great pictures to descriptions and all that, and you'll remember, you're fishing in the market of 60 million people. Put your own cell phone number on there. That is what's going to make the difference in you and everyone else.